Yeah, cool. And you're welcome to proceed.
Recording.
But can you please a little bit adjust the camera, which was
You moved the camera.
yeah, you just change the position of the camera so we see sailing now. It's much better.
Cool. Now.
So now I can start. So since I was not contributing for a long time, I started with I think quite easy task, which is about adding some more integration tests for the new sidetrack of MSI, the pick from store. I don't know whether I can call it sidetrack. So, however, so first of all, it's about the source selection algorithm for which is postcode based, and therefore I created a few additional fixtures. First of one of them was inventory geoname. This is because in the normal way, Magento pulls all this data from Google API currently, and therefore we need a Google API key. So in order to simulate this, I provide a few addresses for Germany, Italy, France, and US in our database as a fixture so that I can test everything. And I create an additional fixture for sources because our current sources does not have addresses in there because they're optional. But for this tests, I need the addresses for the sources. So I created an additional fixture in order not to break probably other tests which don't have it currently. I don't know whether it was a good way. Probably we need to merge it afterwards into the sources fixtures. So after doing this stuff, the test was quite easy. And the test provide me also an issue. So I found an issue which is there, which I also fixed with this pull request. So the distances was not ordered currently in the right way. And also an open question which we need to clarify afterwards because currently this algorithm also not ignore disabled sources. Probably it's something we need to add there.
Oh, so you see that we are your tests?
Yes. As I see, we have several sources. There's one disabled there, and currently I got this results in this sort order, and it seems to be correct so far, but probably because they are not shown in the front end, so they are filtered somewhere else. But probably in order to improve the performance of this algorithm, it should also be disabled already here in the query.
What I propose to do right now, so I propose to mark this test incomplete in the particular part where you're dealing with disabled sources and create a dedicated task on the MSI GitHub to say that this bug, because probably your test show us a bug, so that say that this bug should be fixed, and as soon as it's going to be fixed, the test is going to be uncommented, so that it should pass. So we usually do like that.
The other bug I discovered was the sort order, so it was not there currently, so I just implemented. Probably I should also remove this implementation and create another issue, or but I think it's done so far.
What do you mean, like sort order?
See here, I also extend the class itself so that the order is added here because it was not there before.
Okay, yep.
Igor, are you satisfied?
Yeah.
So that's what I did today. That's it. We can step forward to the next one.
Cool. Thank you very much. Yeah, then let's switch to Larsen. I guess his pull request is.
Hi. Yes. So. This should be correct. You see my screen from GitHub now? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Small fix, but it was a really strange bug or behavior before the bug was founded by Vinay. We had a problem with calculation there. If you the problem was if you have 9 orders, 9 small orders, and the last order can be placed, but it should be enough in stock. And first part was discussing with Igor, hey, how we can solve this floating problem, and with BC compare. And today, what I do, I implement the test case. It was not so easy to find out what flag I must set for the test case and to get the correct values in the here in my implementation. Yeah, it takes me a little bit time to find out which flags I must set to get a minus value in my implementation. And then I changed implementation to BC comp. Also, what I posted there is a screenshot from today. This was the old implementation with the error, and the new implementation with the correct behavior. I verified the bug and fixed the bug with the new implementation. This is what I do today. It's not big, but it takes some hours to find out.
This is actually, it's not maybe really big, but this definitely matters to fix it, because this was a problem with the calculation, and the calculation and the decimal comparison. So this is kind of, I would say this is the core part of the MSI, so it definitely makes sense to fix it.
Yeah, thank you. Next one, please.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, then Ricardo, you will be the last on MSI check for today.
Okay, great. So, sharing my screen. Okay, here we go. So, I've been working on improving the performance of the SSA algorithm, because basically it was quite slow because it was based on 2 nested for each loops doing a lot of operations. So what I did today is, first I wrote a test to fix the current situation. I mean, a test just to start the work. So I created this test to make sure, if I can find it, yeah, it should be this one. I created this test to make sure that my work basically was backward compatible with the current situation. Then I changed the implementation by simply reading all the information I need from database, then computing them in a single cycle. And plus, I also added a couple of missing tests for the source selection algorithm. Well, actually, I also I'm about even to publish another pull request, but I was just out of time, and it is about. But I want just to share with you, if I found it. That's not this one. Yeah, this one. For the performance of the bulk inventory transfer. I will push this in a few minutes. And this is what I did today.
Sounds great, and especially great that you started to make the refactoring, starting with the writing integration test covering the existing functionality. So
Yes, because when you rework something, you will usually break something. So just to make sure.
I'm so impressed because that was not so typical for previous version of the rig, and now
I know.
like
He attending the match
You
test
know.
test.
Well, the first was about functional tests. This was he wrote integration tests. So
But testing is for boy. Putting in production without test is for man. I'm joking.
Good. Thank you. Then I will. So we are done on the side today. I mean, that's not a rule. If you want to proceed with the side, somebody. Maybe. Супер. Так, тему продолжим. Так, если мы SI не закончили, мы идем дальше. Начнем тогда с Magento 2. И начнем мы с Александра, который сделал pull request. Я думаю, он сам расскажет, о чем был его pull request. Чего?
На русском.
Sorry, guys. I totally lost myself. I'll switch the language back. So yeah.
Sorry.
That's my fault. Yeah, we will start with Magento 2, and Alexander will show our human for today.
Yeah. Hi guys. Okay. Now I'm going to tell about I think the most casual pull request which happened today, because I just a few days ago detected that in order repository you cannot use joining of extension attributes. And just today I discovered that it was actually fixed, but fixed in any other way version except 2.3 Magento. So today I have created a forward port to fix this issue with extension attributes for order entity also in 2.3 Magento.
Cool, thanks. I guess you cannot review your own pull request. Somebody over there.
Yes.
Of the guys will take it. I guess I even saw that Lars is already checking something there.
just a quick question.
Yeah, still, thank you very much. Yeah, then let's switch directly to the next one, Maxime. You can proceed.
Just a quick question to Alexander. Can I please?
Hello. Yeah.
So the question to Alexander: is your fix blocking us on the in-store pickup track? So whether we have that merged into Magento 2.3 develop branch to proceed with supporting in-store pickup or in MSI?
Yes, I think this pull request is very nice to have for in-store pickup module, because if will not have a direct meaning for this functionality. It also will be very helpful to receive the information about stores which were related to the orders in order API. So it will be nice to have a set.
Can you please make a cross-reference of this pull request to the ticket, to the corresponding ticket on MSI track, so that we can track the status of the ticket of that pull request to Magento 2.3, and we can hurry up, guys, to merge it as soon as possible.
Yeah, I did.
Cool, great, thank you.
Okay, now I guess you can proceed. Can you also use your sound, because otherwise I have to click always this mute button.
Okay. Hello. Let me share my screen. My screen. Where is share? Could you help me?
Yeah.
Share screen.
И все, и жми share screen.
Somebody hear me? Is okay with my audio?
Yeah, can you also
Sure.
you have a headphone.
I can't hear anybody. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Can you plug out your headphone? Cool. And use your sound.
Okay. I did pull request on task 21193. It's about merging config in the XML when we create the same configs for general scope and admin HTML scope. Magento merge config in correct way. So if we have arguments type array, it's will replaced totally in front end or admin HTML scope. So we lost all our data. So fix fix contain fix related to Magento Framework Object Manager config file, and it's related because we have array replace instead array replace recursive. So in this case, when Magento try to merge both config general and admin HTML will replace general config in nested structure. And I added two tests. One test check if we merge two configs with same class name, it's related to global scope and admin scope. It's about my bug fix. And the second test case, it's about the another bug issues when we have two configs on the same class, but one class has slash at the first character, and the second config has slash. So Magento did merging it twice, and in this case, array replace override. The second change replace. Ricardo, I guess you say something. Very small. Okay. So that's all what I did today. Some notes about my fix. It's about the related task. The second related task was closed about backward incompatibility.
Guys, can you hear me?
We can, Anton.
The case when it
Let's pause on previous one.
It's only trick case, something trick. example, we create config on front-end scope to remove all
the muted sound from their end.
containing data from general scope. So incorrect way using. That's all.
Guys, can you hear us?
Yeah, Igor, you wanted to tell something, huh?
No, that
Actually,
was
so the previous, I had comment on previous bug fix. So this behavior was as designed. It's by design within area config is merged and between areas config is replaced. And we had many discussions about it and the reason why it is done so to allow to remove values, because if you do merge, there is no possibility. If you do array replace recursive, there was I think if I remember correctly, the problem was that you wouldn't be able to remove some keys from arrays if something is configured in global. So there is a slight conceptual difference between area inheritance and area sequence. So admin HTML conceptually does not inherit from global; it replaces global. So that's why it was done. Having said that, if that is a behavior that is unexpected for most people, and this question was raised multiple times, it was discussed, and we always came to some conclusion to keep the current way of merging within one area, but when next area comes in, it replaces array whole values. Like so, it works because it's expected to work the same as for all other configuration argument types. But if that is something that does not make sense for most of community, I say let's discuss it before merging the pull request. I guess we need to create a proposal and discuss it on the wider audience because of two reasons. It's a pretty big change, and second, so it's pretty big change from how it works today, and it's also it might be a backwards incompatible change.
Yeah, it's not.
I would say if the pull request and start
correct what you're talking, because I don't know what we can do. Because it's replaced only nested data. It's not replaced all other data from global scope. So you shoot twice behavior in the same way. So on first level, we have extents from global scope. But when we try to push something in pull object to pull my service inside, for example, data provider for grids, I can do it in my scope. For example, for admin one, for front end another solution.
Yeah, I understand. So what I'm saying is that conceptually, again, we discussed it. It was discussed, I think, we had community discussion of this question. This question comes up fairly often. And there is for some people it's natural one way, for others it's natural other way. The decision was at some point made to not use array replace recursive within between areas. So within areas, it uses array replace recursive within area. So two files of two different modules in a single area. But when an area replaces an admin HTML area replaces global config, the decision was made to replace whole value. And the reason I said to support the scenario of removing values from array. I'm not sure how popular that scenario is. I don't have strong opinions on any of the options here. But what I'm saying is that this decision needs a bit wider discussion, and if you guys if that's something you guys want to do, let's do that. No problem. It just let's start a bigger discussion, separate discussion for this pull request because it's a pretty big change from how it works today.
So for now,
my statement is
such issue was confirmed, and it was ready for pickup for any contributor to do.
Yes, I guess we have a problem. We had a problem there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that. And I'm saying, I'm not saying let's reject this pull request. What I'm trying to say, let's not reject this pull request. Let's keep it. Let's do. And it's actually it's a very good thing that this question was raised again, because probably someone reported this issue on GitHub and it was triaged. I didn't participate in the triage. But what I'm saying is that conceptually, we discussed it a couple times. I don't have a strong opinion. Either way works for me. What's important for me is that it should be convenient and intuitive and ergonomic for developers, for community. So if wider discussion comes to conclusion that this should be changed, let's change it. My only interest here is that this decision needs a bit wider discussion. So what I'm saying, let's, in addition to this pull request, can you create a proposal that would be, and we will advertise a proposal for people to take participate in discussion. We can do a poll, or you can do, someone can do a poll. Alex Lezun can do a poll on Twitter, or Igor Minyailo, and let's just make it a bit wider discussion, because there was wider discussion a couple of years ago. I think like 2 years ago there was discussion about this question, and the decision was made to keep it like this. If you want to change it, let's change it. It just okay. I'm repeating myself. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. We will deal on that. We'll discuss how we'll distribute around. Yes, you can do it. Yep. We'll discuss how we can distribute it around, and then we will give it to people to decide.
Yeah. Thanks for pull request. Thanks for working on it. I think it's actually good that you work on this pull request, and you will raise this question again, because it sounds like it's still counterintuitive for some people, or for many people. I don't know how many people. Let's figure it out, and let's finally make the decision this again. Well, yeah.
Good. Then let's move to the next one, and the last one for Magento 2 today. I guess it's nothing changed in the last 5 minutes. That's a pull request from Oleg. I guess it's related to the front end. That's, I guess, only front end pull request for today. But we still have it. Good.
Yeah, maybe.
What? Ah, okay. No, I mean, key.
Okay, can you hear me?
Can you maybe use your sound?
Yeah.
Yes, I use it always.
No, I mean not only headphones, but the sound from the laptop. I will now go from person to person. Let's go to the best.
Okay, great. So you can see my screen now, right? Great. My fix was really very little, but it was sometimes really important, especially for me. Some annoying things with buttons in admin panel, that they are weaker during page reloading. It's because of widget floating header that when it not initialized yet, the buttons has the one order, and when it's already initialized, it has another view, as you can see right now. Well, the solution was simple, and let me share it with you. Oh, 1 second, please. Yes, this save files. It was just extending initialized properties. I mean, it was a lacking of display flags box for buttons container, and their order wasn't applied before widget was initialized. So this is a fixed version. Oh, sorry. During which we have good ordered buttons, let's say. Okay, this is it. That was before.
One of them, can you move this away because on the big screen it's not.
Oh, sorry.
Blocking the
Sorry, sorry, guys. Yeah, that was.
Interesting. Okay.
It was yours, not yours.
No, it's not mine.
No, I mean, maybe never mind. Okay, okay. This bug, I mean, it was fixed because sometimes admin can misclick the incorrect button because it replaces and it changes its position. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. It was good. At least it has its own full front-end pull request for today, and I guess that's first front-end pull request I ever saw on contribution day when I was, which is really cool. Then I'll move to a asynchronous import project. We have two persons here who contributed there, and I'll not start with Stefan because basically this Stefan is delivered as a pull request just during our presentations, so he's still working hard on it. Also from Alex here, maybe you can show us the tickets which you made and yeah. Just a moment. Okay, maybe you can just share here first. And, yeah, just click this one. Share screen. No, just go back and click the button. Push the button. No, you're in wrong. Yep.
So my hello everyone. My changes was really small. It was actually bug fixing. First one is created at date was not set and was not returned properly. It always returned as null. Why it happened? Where we have we had data time field in database that is not set from PHP but was used MySQL timestamp functionality, and when we save it, a model is not reloaded again. So I added setting of created add data from PHP. That's one. And second one was also a bug that we have not had data hash from receiving from in response.
I just will interrupt you a little bit. So we're talking about the bulk API request when we're sending data to Magento, and we're getting back the UID for those operations, and those data also contains the hash, the data hash parameter, which was always null.
Yep. Thank you. And I added encryptor.
As I understand, we use this hash as a like signature of data. So does it mean that we don't check whether the data was transmitted correctly or accepted correctly? Or
no, not really. I mean, this functionality basically is not used by Magento itself. So there is an implementation for that. But in this case, that's more data which user needs to check that the data that he sent. I mean, that's not like required to check it. It's only up to you, use cases or business cases. If you want to do it, then you can do it. Yeah, that's basically only the information.
Yeah, and so we added hash of imported data. That's it. Thank you.
Cool, thank you. Basically, I would not say they're very small. What I like today that not so many people basically know what the sync import is, and during doing the small stuff, the people just learning the project. That's really cool. And now I'll go to the last one. Oh, that's the last one for here. This chopper, he will also present you a couple of changes. Basically, I guess, will you present both pull requests or only one?
Yeah, both. Alex, could I ask you to stop sharing your screen?
It's not top, I guess. Red button.
Red button. Is it usually? Yeah, that's right.
Good appetit, Igor. I guess it's like 8, 7. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Igor, his mouth is too busy.
He cannot push the button because his fingers.
12 p.m. already.
Okay, so I'll start. Yeah. So first of all, the test was a small pull request, and it's related to changing our ACL rules. We used the ACL of Magento import export, and right now we decided that we will use our own import service resource, and I also changed it the web API XML for all our web endpoints. Yeah. So, and the next pull request is about our new endpoint.
Sorry for interruption. I just thought based on your screen where you have like set UID Igor or Minyailo, something like that.
Oh yeah, so, you'll see it later.
I just have one idea which came to my mind, that we don't have a verification that the well-qualified UUID provided. So that UUID is supposed to be 128 bits, and it's supposed to correspond some format. And if now we are eligible to set any string, so this is potentially not UUID.
That's a good point, basically. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a good point. But right now we just created like an interfaces without implementation and validation of this. Yeah, we even didn't have a resource model. So yeah, we'll take into an account. Thank you for your comment. Yeah. So and we have a new endpoint that we will start our import. And we have an interface for this, and we use the new resource. And yeah, let's go to implementation. So we have here in testing constructor import start response that response factory that creates import start response interface. Yeah, and we have here UID, status, error, and we have constants with the different types of statuses. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, as you can see in an import start service, I set here some maybe you know the strings. And let's check it out how it works. for now. Igor, sorry that I'm using your private data.
I don't have a copyright for Igor name, so it's okay.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So we have, I also wanted to mention that we have here past import config object that have several profile UID, behavior, and other properties. And we have here another interface for them, for him. Yeah, for it. And yeah, it's just getters and setters and the constants. So that's it. That's what I did today.
I guess you also wanted to add that you will finish the using the DB database for the async and bulk.
I'll do my best.
Okay, thank you. Then we have only one pull request left, which was provided by external guy. I just will just go shortly on it. Let me see, just to finish that we all completed for today. That was only pull request for GraphQL. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, something changed during our talk. At least with the labels. So Valery made something. I guess he's not here, or? That's the issue? Wait. Yeah. Ah, okay. Why there's a label then for the issues? Okay, I'm confused. But yeah, if it's an issues, yeah, that's an issues, and that's a pull request. Yeah. No, that's a mixed one. If you filter by label, you get a mixed one.
Okay.
Then yeah, then we have only one pull request. For today, well, added the product to the cart when the requested KTI is 0 or less than 0. One was unexpected. One was unexpectedly added. So as I understand, that was just a validation that KTI is 0 or more. By the way, what? Okay, I guess we will validate it a bit later. I'm just thinking, yeah, we cannot add to the shopping cart amount less than 0. And yeah, and there is also a test written for that, which is also quite nice. So that's then from pull request for this contribution day. That's all. Did anybody count how many of that? We have 3, 6. We have here 3 and 1 was merged. It's 10. Did you make a pull request?
You have to.
You didn't add a label, I guess. You didn't add a label, okay. 10, 11. We have 11 pull requests for today for Kharkiv contribution, and I get that's really great. I'll stop sharing my screen. Thanks everybody. Any comments, guys?
It was cool.
Yeah, so this is really terrific moment because this event was completely run by maintainers. Some of the maintainers on site, some of the maintainers remotely helping to you guys. So the most important for us that this kind of events to be joyful for you, and just don't hesitate to tell us more, because if it makes sense to run more often this kind of events, maybe we know, the community engineering will not go anywhere, and guys from like Alex, like Ricardo and Vadim will be hosting all that events instead of us. So
they don't really need to ask us anymore.
Yeah, maybe. So this is really great initiative. Thank you very much, Yulia. Thank you very much, MageCom. Thank you, Alex. So you spend your time, you fly to Kharkiv, and of course Ricardo, Vadim, and Lars, of course. So this is kind of really cool experience for us as well.
Vlad is also here.
Oh, Vlad, I forgot Vlad. Sorry, Vlad. By the way, oh, you have really stylish haircut.
Cool. Then thanks everybody and see you
Next time.
next. No, I don't want to say next contribution day. I want to see them much earlier than next contribution day. So I hope see you next week.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.